then smiled. Except trying so hard to scare you away. He laughed softly. You failed spectacularly. Marriage didn't soften my life into something glossy or unreal. It sharpened it. The weeks after the wedding weren't beaches and champagne. I returned to work the following Monday, standing inside a half-collapsed community library in Queensport, blueprints tucked under my arm. Julian stood beside me, sleeves rolled up, listening as I explained load-bearing walls and restoration priorities. You don't have to come to every site, I reminded him. I want to understand what you see, he replied. That became our rhythm. Curiosity instead of assumptions. Questions instead of silence. Some nights, I admitted quietly, I still feel like I don't belong in your world. Julian never contradicted me with empty reassurance. He simply said, then we'll build a world where you do. Slowly, the instinct to disappear loosened its grip. I wore makeup when I wanted to. I didn't when I didn't. I spoke up in rooms that once intimidated me. I set boundaries without apology. The foundation grew faster than anyone expected. Grants poured in. Neighborhood leaders called me directly. At a press conference, a reporter asked how it felt to be married to one of the most powerful men in the country. I smiled politely. I don't run my life based on who I'm married to. Later that night, Julian laughed over takeout containers spread across our counter. You were terrifying. Good, I replied. The real test came when Daniel Cross reappeared, seeking funding for a redevelopment project that would erase an entire historic block. I listened calmly. We're not aligned, I said. When he tried to reopen the past, I stopped him. You don't get access to me anymore. I walked away steady. No shaking hands. No racing heart. That night, Julian kissed my forehead. I'm proud of you. I realized then that healing wasn't forgetting. It was standing firmly in who I had become. One quiet evening, months later, I returned alone to the cafe where everything had begun. Same burnt espresso. Same corner table. I wore a fitted coat. Hair loose. Face bare. Not as armor. Not as defiance. As choice. Noah raised an eyebrow. The usual? Yes, I said softly. I watched people rush past the window, some hopeful, some broken, all becoming something new. I smiled at the memory of the woman who once sat here determined to be invisible. She had survived. But this version of me, this Aria, was living. Julian arrived moments later and slid into the chair across from me, taking my hand without ceremony. Ready to go home? He asked. I nodded. Home wasn't a place anymore. It was honesty. Courage. Love built slowly and truthfully. 2 years later, I stood on the steps of the restored Harlem Crescent Theater as children poured out after an afternoon performance, their laughter